What is good? What is good, family? We are in the building. Hope everybody's doing well in these Corona streets. Everybody's being safe. A lot of quarantines are going on right now. So, hope you guys are stocked up on water and food and your oatmeal. A lot of items, that you're going to need to wear through the storm. Personally, I still think it's a lot of hype, but the media controls a lot of stuff, as we will discuss, and a lot of stores, people are panic buying, so it's a lot going on, in these streets right now. So I just want everybody to be safe. Today we are discussing where is the black man's Mecca. What country or what countries should black men consider investing in, whether it be a country in Africa, South America, Asia, Southeast Asia, wherever on the planet. But first, I'm going to discuss a few streams that I was on yesterday and a few streams that I was criticized on yesterday. So, did a stream yesterday with my boy Richie Rich. Shout out to him. Young Jay was good with you, brother. It was a good stream. It was the topic was why is Brazil number one, and that was just my opinion on why I love Brazil so much. But in the comment section, we had a female troll, and she got real nasty real quick. I don't even know why these women come on some of these hangouts or some of these streams. I guess because they're not having a good day, they don't have nothing else to do. There's plenty of women with YouTube channels, but they decided to come on our stream. And she was just throwing shots at black men, saying that why black men only pick sex tourist countries to go to. And I'm like, well, what the hell is a sex tourist country? You mean Jamaica? What's going on, Sewer Rat? Then she came about saying that, she works for the government and she knows what goes on overseas. And I'm sitting here like, well, what goes on overseas? What are you talking about? And she didn't really work. I mean, she might have worked for the government, but she had a little head wrap on. She looked like she worked for the DMV or some shit. She didn't look like no big time government official. But she got real disrespectful really quick, And it's just funny. I'm like, what's the problem with black men traveling the world? What's the issue? Why are so many people in their feelings about black men traveling the world throwing up all this salt on black men that decide to travel? It's very interesting, just throwing all types of accusations out there. When you had a whole movement, let's just keep it 1,000. You had a whole movement after that How Stella Got Her Groove Back book that came along with the movie. And you had booger wolves all over America, middle-aged, older, overweight women, soured women, going overseas to mess with Jamaican dudes, yachty boys, and whatnot. And black men sat back and said nothing. That's interesting, isn't it? Everybody's allowed to do what they want to do, to have some type of pleasure in their life, to explore. But black men, it's almost seemed like the world feel like they own us to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Like, why would you have a problem with somebody exploring the world? I question that. And that leads me to another hangout I was on. Well, I wasn't really on this hangout or this stream, but I was in the comment section, and it was a pretty cool stream with Kevin Samuels. I forgot the name of the title, but it was a brother on there discussing, why his girlfriend broke up with him and all this stuff. He was a young brother, good brother. Kevin Samuels giving him a little game, and I agree for the most part what Kevin Samuels was telling the young brother. But the funny thing was, I asked one simple question. I was in the chat and I said, "Hey man, brother, do you have a passport?" And you should have seen the dudes that came up after me. Black man travels, get out of here. We know what you're doing. Get out of here, black man travels. Everything not solved by just having a passport. And I'm like, okay, I didn't say everything was solved. Excuse me. By having a passport. I just asked the brother if he had a passport. Like what's the issue here? What's the problem? And it was just funny, man. It's like, I tell you, boy, dudes will really be in their feelings when it comes to actually giving an alternative solution to the troubles and plight of dating in Black America. When you try to give an actual solution to it, instead of this whole Superman, I got to be this alpha guy, type of deal. And all we're saying is, hey, man, it might be better options overseas because the women have been cultured to be submissive to you. The women have been cultured their whole life to be a wife to you and a productive counterpart to you. Then it's a bunch of problems. It's a bunch of issues. They want you to buy their products. And I'm not talking about Kevin Samuels in particular. I like Kevin. Kevin's cool. As a matter of fact, one of the colognes that he mentioned, what's the name of that cologne? I don't know if it's Polo Blue or Nautica Blue. I think it's Nautica Blue. Man, the women love that cologne. Everywhere I go, they be like, man, what you have on? So the brother really knows what he's talking about. But my thing is, it's okay to discuss an alternative. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay for brothers to discuss, hey, man, the dating market's a little cluttered here. It's a little, real greedy and real selfish over here. You might want to expand your dating options. That's all I was trying to say. But we'll go ahead and get into the subject. We got 4 people in the room. We're going to go ahead and get this thing popping. Young Jay was good with you. Victor Matthews was good with you. Young Jay say a hotel queen. Right. You're right. A hotel queen. But what led me to this today was the fact that I was looking at a post online, and it said a guy posted a book called The International Jew, The World's Foremost Problem by Henry Ford. And I'm a little familiar with this book. And what the book discusses is pretty much how Jews really stick together. I mean, it was really an anti-Semitic book, but it was basically saying that, you have to watch the Jews because they've become international. They become increasingly dangerous because they do a lot of, I'm not going to put that on there. I don't want to get this video flagged, but basically they take care of their own. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And, I see a lot of brothers, upset about the current state of Western women, in America and whatnot. And I just want to go deeper. I just want to go deeper and expose a few things. Brothers, when you don't control the economy in the society that where you live at, you don't control the economy. So your woman's working for somebody else. You don't control the media. So your woman's watching whatever group of people want to influence the masses at the time. Right? So you got all this fuckery on TV. You don't control a positive image of yourself, really. You control, she's looking at whatever the dominant society wants her to embrace, right? Women are a vessel. So they internalize things differently than men. Case in point, when I'm traveling the world, when I'm in these different countries, and I always ask a woman, I say, hey, how do you know English? How did you learn English? Now, some of them went to school and some of them took their classes. Some of them, are a little educated. But for the most part, a lot of women be like, oh, I just picked it up in the streets. I just picked it up here and go. I'm like, you picked up another language by just listening to it, like just by on some passerby type of stuff. You just picked up another language. And they be like, yeah. That lets you know that women internalize things. Everything that they listen to, everything that they see, they internalize it and they hold it in. So if you have a little black girl from the age of, let's just say, she started watching TV at probably 1-12, she started being able to recognize images and start to be familiar with the language and everything. If she's internalizing trap music, if she's internalizing hair weaves, if she's internalizing, women fighting, if she's internalizing the bad boy thugs and whatnot, what do you think she's going to do when she gets of age and actually gets out there? Her whole life, Pookie and Ray Ray have had basically a commercial to her mind. Rap music. Not all rap music, but I'm talking about trap music. We don't control that portion of the media. Jews control it, let's to be honest with you. They control the media. And if they control the media, they control the economy, they really control the culture. So why you got guys out here that want to focus on game and focus on, all this stuff that, all this Mac and all this game and everything. Listen, man, guess what? A lot of men in other cultures don't need a bit of game. They don't need no PUA coaches. They don't have to have, all these fancy clothes and cars and everything. They just know that their women have been conditioned for them. I mean, we gotta look a little deeper. This is chess, not checkers, fellas. And that's why I always say, hey man, we might want to explore the world and find different options. We might want to find, a little city in Southeast Asia somewhere that we can say it's our own. We control the economy. We control the media. This is very important because we've been conditioned to put our women on these pedestals, and our women are dysfunctional. Let's just keep it real. Not all of them, but most of them are dysfunctional because they've internalized negative things about you as a man from the dominant society. Because the worst thing that the dominant society wants is a productive, progressive, Black Wall Street type of family. They do not want that at all costs. They will promote whatever they can to make our societies fully dysfunctional. If you look at BET right now, dog, it might as well be called GTV. You got all types of little, content. Let's just put content. This is not hate. I'm just keeping it real. Being exposed to young men and young women, to children, right now, as we speak. Shout out to music artists. Peace, brother. When I went out on a stream, I went on a stream a couple of months ago with some brothers, Cerulean Gray and Charles Faulkner. A lot of them, they spend a lot of time. I haven't heard of them on the BGS Hangouts as of late, but they were out there for a minute, and they had these initiatives, and I agree with a lot of what they were saying. They had the Faulkner Initiative, the Gray regime, and a lot of things they were saying was, within the American borders, and I somewhat agree to what they were saying. I believe it could be a strategy. But when I came within the comment section and I said, hey man, what do you think about going somewhere else? Exploring the world and going somewhere else where we might not be necessarily in a backyard. All right. It might be easier for us to bargain with maybe a third world country or something to carve out, our own little lots of land and start our own cities and economies. I mean, it's just a thought. It's been done before. I mean, it's being done right now. The Jews do it. The Germans do it. Every other race does it, really. You'll have your little all Chinatown in the middle of Nigeria somewhere. You will have a little small Jewish town in the Dominican Republic. You'll have a little German town in Argentina. They damn near control Argentina so much so that a lot of places in Argentina are racist as hell. And they've turned the people from melanated to damn near white. And a lot of things, man. Young Jay, you're right. When you're a traveler, man, you just more of a progressive thinker because your mind is a little bit open to more options. And when I gave my opinion, when I gave my comments, to these guys, I got insulted. I got pretty much, just throwing the bones at a brother. They got real disrespectful, especially Officer Faulkner, and it was all good. Like I said, keyboard gangsterism. I'm not worried about that. But what's the problem when a brother comes in and just give you his opinion on a possible solution? That Black men need to explore the world. All right. That Black men need to go to these little third world countries and just see what's going on, see what they need, see what we can provide to them as a group of men. Because the last time we really made some very progressive moves in this country, they burnt down our neighborhoods. After they burnt down our neighborhoods, they sent highways through our neighborhoods to break up our businesses. You have these hidden policies, right? That's strictly for Black men in the United States of America. Now, I'm not saying you can't make millions of dollars in the United States of America. You definitely can. You can get you a small crew. You can tear up some real estate. You can tear up the music industry. You can tear up the film industry. But all I'm saying is when it becomes to groups of Black men on some Black Wall Street stuff, American policy would not tolerate that. Now, they don't mind Black women being super successful and having millions of dollars. They don't mind any women being super successful. The first Black millionaire was a woman in this country, period. The reason they don't mind that because they know most women want to survive or just succeed in their system. They don't want to actually change the system. They don't have to worry about successful black women trying to actually reset the culture for the most part. But they are worried about black men. You're right. Some people don't want to help. They just happy being stupid. And these are serious conversations that black men need to have. This option is a serious contender if you really want to reset the culture of black America. You know, people complain about the women all the time. Listen, man, you don't control the economy. You don't control what they see. So without those two elements, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough as nails to really obtain a good woman. Let's just be honest. I'm not saying it's impossible, but why do you think we're so weak as a people in this country? I mean, in all honesty, I mean, you got billions of dollars. They've created, I think, 41,000 Asian multimillionaires through the hair industry alone. Your woman don't even like her natural hair. So if she doesn't like her natural hair, which is your natural hair, and you're trying to have children with this woman, what does that tell you? She doesn't have a high opinion of herself because of what she's internalized through the American media. The American media said, hey, you're less than us. You don't look good. You're ugly. You got women right now that still bleaching their skin. They put so much makeup on their skin to try to look foreign. They put so much weave in their head to try to look something different than black. Listen, these women don't even have any edges no more. You know what they're doing now? They're splitting their scalp, basically. So they don't have any hairline any longer. They sew it in from the sideways. Instead of just them stop putting weave in their head, they're sewing it from sideways. The makeup is so heavy that they put on to look exotic. This little whole wet Asian, dark Asian look that they be trying to have. It suffocates their skin. They get bad breakouts. Are they going to change? No. So, brothers, why is that? I just told you earlier in the stream that they internalize things differently than you. They've been internalizing stuff from the media for the last, since they've been born. But if we can control the media, if we can control positive images of black men and black women having black families, then that's going to reset her mind, or at least the new generation of women. We want them Claire Huxtable type of women. We want them Aaliyah type of women. We want these natural black women that we had before. We want them back. And there's no point in doing all these discussions on YouTube about what's wrong with them. We all know what's wrong with them. But at the same time, as men, you got to be very cold in your assessment of why they are like that and not take it personal. As black men, we do not control the economy, period. And because we don't control the economy, we don't control the media. Case closed. It's nothing you can do. You can be a multimillionaire. You could be 6'5", 6'6" with a six-pack. You can be green eyes, whatever. It's the way they look at you. And I'm going to go back to the beginning of the stream about that black woman coming on to the comment section with me and Richie Rich video last night. She feels like she owns us. They feel like they own black men. They feel like we're lesser than them. So it's no amount of gain that's going to change that, fellas. Because it's what she's been conditioned to feel about you, to think about you. You are less than 9 times out of 10. Not all, but most. A lot of these black women don't even have fathers in the home. So they have no idea how to take any type of male direction. They have no idea how to be submissive to a man. Is this what you're getting gamed up for? Is this the reason? This is what you got all your Macking books for? We just got to think a little deeper, fellas. As men, we got to make a cold assessment. Hey, this isn't working for us. This is not going to work for the next generation of black men. It's going to be very difficult for them as young black men to find a productive counterpart. And when I look at the stream, I see an OG, an older black man, kind of getting on a younger black man about why this woman left him. Listen, man, that's the game. She probably would have left him anyway. He needs to move on. He needs to explore his other options. He needs to travel the world. He's a young man, no kids. We all do. Like I said in many streams, man, the juice simply isn't worth the squeeze 9 times out of 10. Now, if you got you a good black woman, man, rock with her. That's very rare. You should be very proud of that. But don't look down on the other men that do. That don't, I'm sorry. Man, a woman is almost like a woman dog should be almost plug and play. In all honesty, the program is already set up for you. You don't have to keep passing shit tests. You don't keep having to trying to mac on her, trying to play these games with her. It should be plug and play. Because what benefits you is going to benefit her, and what that's going to benefit the children. So sometimes you simply have to go somewhere else. We have to start over. You know, all these infiltration games within the American government. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They might work. I'm not sure. But when you have these third world governments that get overthrown all the time, that have coups all the time, and you can go there and offer that country something that they really need, some type of infrastructure help in building. In return, they might forward you off a little small city. Case in point, the Jews. Let's go back to the Jews. It was this Jewish guy that got caught trying to sail a nuclear submarine to, I believe, somewhere in the Middle East. And he didn't want money. He only went to jail for maybe 5 years, by the way. But he didn't want money. We know what he wanted for his nuclear submarine. How the hell did one man get a nuclear submarine? I don't know. But you know what he wanted? He wanted land. He didn't want any money. He wanted land. He wanted the right to be able to control a couple of 100 acres of land somewhere in the Middle East for his friends and family to have their own little city. That's what he was trading with. Not gold, not jewels, not cars. He wanted land. Some people just had the right blueprint. So I don't know what country we could really, you know, this is the whole part of us exploring the world. Maybe it's Africa, maybe it's Brazil, maybe it's somewhere in the Caribbean. What little city can we start to carve out and say, hey, this is our own? Why is it a problem that we even have these type of conversations is the question. Don't assume that shit tests end once you leave the country. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're going to deal with some shit tests, man, but you don't got to deal with them daily. We deal with them daily here, damn near hourly. So, brothers, to sum everything up, in this brother's opinion, I believe exploring the world is one of the better options for us. We got a lot of work to do, true, but it can be done. It might not happen in our generation, but we got to look out for the next generation coming up. We have to have these. I mean, it's nothing wrong with exploring the idea. That's the problem, bro. It's just the idea of it. They don't even want us to think like this. The world does not want to see the international black man, period. Women don't want to see it. Dominant society damn sure don't want to see it. Why? Because if you empower black men, we can reset the culture. And we can have a good, strong foundation to create a positive black family to compete with their families. And they don't want that. Because the last time we did something like that, it was Black Wall Street. And they were amazed how we came out of slavery that fucking fast with no help from the U.S. government. We built cities and towns that rival nations. So, fellas, Get a chance, check out blackmentravels.com. Also, you want to join the Facebook group, Black Men Travels. We got a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of good content. And we are out, fellas. Peace. You guys enjoy your day. Stay safe.